Hello and welcome to my world of crochet. My name is Stina and today I'm here with you for another yarn talk video. And today I'm enjoying my tea, which is one of Pickwick's teas, which is the Autumn Storm. And this is basically how the sacket look like. It's black blended tea with a flavor of apple and cinnamon, which is very, very lovely here in these autumn days when you have these spontaneous rain showers while you can see the leaves falling. And, you know, I really love the colors of fall. It's inspiring and it's just so beautiful to watch. I cannot define it. So, but these Pickwick does, as I've explained to you guys before, come with this question saying random things. So you can get questions of random things. And in this case, today I got the question if money makes happy. And I think that's a really good question, because does money make happy or not? Of course, to some extent, money does make happy, because if you don't have any, or if you have too little, then you can be rather unhappy because you do not have the basic needs covered. But I do not believe that once you are somewhat financially secure, that money is the key to real happiness. It's just like, it's, you know, money is good and nice to have, but it doesn't purchase you happiness in the long run, even though we all know it feels nice to buy new yarns and stuff, which you need money to do. But honestly, it's just a temporary flaw for being dependent on money to make you happy. Money is more like, it's nice to have and it can make you more relaxed in life. And I'm generally blessed enough to not have to worry too much about my situation. So yeah, I'm relaxed and comfortable with myself. But in any case, it was not to talk about money in general. It was more to talk about, does money make you happy? So I wonder, of course, about your thoughts of it. Does money make you happy? Yeah, it's that simple. Do you think money makes happy? I think money makes happy to some extent, but not the full extent. Anyhow, let's talk about yarn and what I've done since last time. So I have to be honest, I had planned to do more recording on the tutorial for the Very shawl, but when I had it scheduled last week, I didn't feel very well, so I ended up not recording anything, which basically means that my Very shawl still looks like this. There is no progress. I'm sorry. Sometimes life is just what life is, and I didn't feel very well, but I do hope that I will feel better this week when I have scheduled some more recording for the Irish show, for the tutorial. The good news is, while I didn't feel very, it's not good news to not feel very well, but the good news is I did actually have time to progress very well on my Happiness Poncho. And for this big twister cake, Happy Twister cake called called Storm Chaser. It's very stormy in all my words today, but the Storm Chaser cake, I actually only have this much left. So I really, really made great progress on this shawl. And it's not a shawl, it's a poncho, Jesus. It's Monday morning. Please do excuse me for any missayings and spellings. I'm going to quickly tuck this one over my head so you guys can see the progress I've made. Let's see if I can actually, do you see? I do have an end that's not woven in. Please look away from that. I will actually get up and stand for you guys so you can decide what you think about it. So this equals, size-wise, I'm probably a large. This equals basically, oh, it's not completed down. So this equals one full cake of this Crimson Shines scarf, which is really nice. It covers the shoulders and the top part of the arms. But knowing myself, I do prefer that they do get some more length to it, which is why it's very perfect that I had already planned for it. and I do apologize that you can't see my face right now. So I'm going to sit down as well again, but now you have seen how well it sits, and I have very little left here. Obviously that's not enough for a full round, but I do have, oh, this is getting a bit dirty. I do have this twister solid cake that I'm going to add to it, which is the exact same color as the last piece of it. So that means that I do get some more length on it, so I do get a little bit more arm coverage. I could also choose, of course, to flip this a 90 degrees, so that these stitches get on the shoulders. But then I feel that it's not long enough on the front side. So generally I just need some more rounds on this poncho to really make it a good length for me. And that's where this cake is going to get in and get added to add that extra increased length. And once that's done, of course, this poncho, I just need to record the last very bits for the tutorial, and you can get to see the final result and you can get to see the tutorial. And I do have this small hope that I will have that done like next week. That would be really, really nice, cool and amazing. I'm just nicely going to carry this for the rest of this yarn talk while we go through the last few things. Oh, nice, nice. What I've also done, I've made some preparations. Let's see, what should we start with? We start with this, I think. Last week, I had finished the Dreams and Shines scarf, which is very nice, warm and cozy, which goes greatly together with my glitter beret. And now it's time to make the fingerless pair of gloves to go with them. I want to make a pair of fingerless gloves because I believe that crocheting gloves with fingers is quite difficult. And I do like the thought of having some flexibility with your fingers while they're still somewhat covered up. And I set myself the goal last week to start look for patterns and to start maybe make progress on it, and to make it matching with the beret and the scarf. I'm of course using this ice yarns, and it still remains absolutely wonderful and lovely yarn. And honestly, even when I'm done with the first pair of gloves, I will probably have yarn left, so I might make some ear warmers as well or whatever. So I have different flexibility options for how I want to wear this winter set. But the gloves I decided on making are Dragon Scale gloves, I think it's called, which is actually made with a crocodile stitch. And I've made the first part. So what you can see now is the crocodile stitch, which is kind of like dragon scales. They do show up like dragon scales. And they do really look really, really nice in a variegated yarn, like this Yarnovore yarn from Ice. And right now, if I take it on, this is basically how they're gonna look. And even though that this pattern actually calls for a 3.5mm crochet hook, I am using my 4.5mm hook with this yarn, because 3.5mm hook really makes this it's really difficult to catch the stitches and so on because of the fluff and the halo of yarn. And I do believe that a 3.5mm hook with this particular yarn is just too small. And honestly, I'm just following the pattern right now as it's written down in size and everything, and it's perfect. It's snug, but it's not super tight, and it's not that loose that it's gonna fall off like when I'm doing like this. So I do actually believe that even though that I'm using a 4.5mm hook instead of a 3.5mm hook, that it's going to be a perfect fit if I just follow the pattern. So I'll absolutely get more updates on that as time comes. This pattern is made by the Yarnovore UK. I am going to share a link to the Ravelry pattern down in the description box down below if you want to look more into them. But yeah, they are really, really lovely gloves, and I'm very curious on how they're gonna look when they're completely finalized. Right now, they look great, I think. But how they're gonna look as a full set of gloves, who knows? But yeah, the last thing I'm starting to work on, and I mean starting to work because I've only made the base foundations. I did start a little bit last week and I flogged it because failure. It's a pair of socks. This is a sock yarn. I highlighted my size, and it's a sock pattern from Drops. So that's from garnstudio.com. And I'll also link to this description, to this pattern in the description down below. As you know, I bought some sock yarn from Linda Hobby, and I already had some blue slug yarn on stock. So I do have two types of sort of royal blue stock yarn, where one is from the Drops Fable and the other one is the Mayflower First Class. So that would be the two type of sock yarn I have right now in this light blue. What is that I had actually hoped for an even more baby blue. So I'm going to go with the lightest of the two, which would be this one for the pattern. These two sock yarns are very, I would say, compatible. They feel pretty close to equally soft. I would not say one, like maybe this is 1% softer, but they're very close. I'll tell you shortly about these yarns. So the Fable yarn is, of course, a superwash wool, which is 75%, and then it's 25% polyamide. These balls are 50 grams a piece, and they come with 205 meters of yarn. The Mayflower is also 75% superwash wool, and let's see if I can actually find it. I should know here. Whoa, superwash wool. It says on the label here. And then it's 25% nylon. So the difference here in content is that this one is 25% polyamide, and this one is 25% nylon. This one comes in more colors, more vibrant colors. It has 50 grams in these balls, and they come with 210 meters. So this is, in theory, a slightly thinner yarn, but honestly, if you even look at them here, if we can get to zoom, yeah, you can see that they're very comparable, and they're definitely sock yarns. And I've read through the pattern, and it says I need to use a crochet hook size of 2 millimeters. It's advised 2.5, 3 millimeters on these. And this one should also have an advice somewhere. It says 3 millimeters actually. But this pattern says 2. Let's see if I can actually find it. It's called Blue Thunder, the pattern. And of course, as said, I printed it for my foot size. And it says somewhere here, crochet hook size 2 millimeters. When I make it 2 millimeters, I can make it perfectly work, but I crochet very tight. So I tried out the 2.5, which seems to be somewhat closer, but I might actually have to do a 3 millimeter crochet hook size. It's a work in progress. I had to flog the first round because I think I'm still messing up some of the stitches when it's a slip stitch and not slip stitch. If I do need to use that as a stitch to count for in the following round and whatnot. So what I'm going to be doing is I have to write down each round and amount of stitches I have to have in each round, and then I have to count each round every time I've finished a round, which is gonna be a ton of work, but it's a question about getting used to this pattern to, for me, define what's working and what is what's ideal. But anyhow, I still want to make them, but it's gonna be like a project for it's gonna take some focus and concentration to do so. But yeah, so that's it for about now. Later this week, you are going to have on Friday, I will be releasing my start to finish project of the Dreams and Shines scarf. And next week, of course, next week, Monday, you will have another yarn talk video with me. And maybe, if we're lucky, the poncho is finished by then. And then that would hopefully allow me to have the tutorial ready for you to go the Friday, the week following. So that's my kind of crocheting plans right now. I hope to finish up more projects, of course, meanwhile. And as always, it's a very much of a pleasure for me to share my yarn adventures with you guys. And if you're still watching and if you do like this content and you haven't subscribed yet, then please, please, please do subscribe. Do give this video a little like, and don't forget to hit the notifications bell if you haven't already either, so that you get notified whenever I do post new videos, so that you can keep up as well. And that's it for now. I wish you a very great and yarny day, and yeah, basically have a great week until we meet again. Bye.